Today, for the first time in humankind's history, people are able to communicate freely with their loved ones now living in the afterlife. One of the most successful methods is performed by state-licensed psychotherapists, also called counselors. There are two methods psychotherapist researchers have developed that are up to 98% successful in helping people have afterlife communications with their loved ones while they sit in the psychotherapist's office. And the resulting communications reduce their grief from a very strong score of the highest to 10 on a 10-point scale to 0 to 3 in a single session. In this series of videos, I present the actual accounts of people who have had successful afterlife communications with their loved ones while they sit with a psychotherapist. Hello, I'm Dr. R. Craig Hogan, President of the Afterlife Research and Education Institute and Seek Reality Online. I'm the author of 8 books with the evidence you will come to the end of this life, but you will never die. Hundreds of psychotherapists are now helping their clients have afterlife communications with the people for whom they're grieving. One method is named Repair and Reattachment Grief Therapy, developed by Washington State-licensed psychotherapist Rochelle Wright. In this therapy, the client sits before the psychotherapist, and the psychotherapist uses a procedure called eye movement desensitization and reprocessing, or EMDR, to put the client into a state of mind in which the afterlife communications take place. The client sits quietly as the loved one in spirit comes to them, speaks to them, hugs and kisses them at times, and even takes them on tours of their life in the afterlife. The psychotherapist does nothing more than listen to the client describing what has happened. Those in the afterlife take over and communicate freely. The client's grief is always reduced dramatically by the experience. I co-authored a book with Rochelle. In our book, we have a number of cases describing what clients experienced while in therapy sessions. This is the 4th in the series of actual accounts of afterlife communications.
Bonnie walked into Rochelle's office for her regular 1.5-hour psychotherapy session and sat down. Rochelle had been working with her on her feelings of feeling desperately alone. She had a strained relationship with her mother, and her father, with whom she had been close, had passed away. Bonnie said to Rochelle, "Rochelle, I have something I can't talk to anyone else about." "I know you'll understand." Bonnie began her story. "I was in my bedroom upstairs last night and my father came to me," she said. "He was sitting on the end of the bed, a silhouette, a fog-like silhouette, but it was definitely my father. He didn't turn around to look at me, but it was him, and he was conveying this message to me. I'm here and will always be here to support you. You're not alone." I got up and walked to him and hugged him from behind, but he never turned around. Then he disappeared. I felt really good after this happened. Rochelle said, "We'll use that today in your session." She had Bonnie put on the earphones playing the music specially recorded for bilateral stimulation and began the session. "Stay with that image and all the things associated with it," Rochelle said. "You hugged him from behind, but he didn't turn around." She then had Bonnie move her eyes for the eye movement bilateral stimulation that is part of the guided afterlife connection procedure. Bonnie closed her eyes. After a short time, she opened her eyes and said, "Oh my gosh, I saw my father like I did last night, but now he turned around and looked at me. I went to him and hugged him. He said, 'I love you and I am with you.' Then he said he had to go, like he was on a schedule. I feel like he really is with me. I'm not alone."
Bonnie's father had dropped in to tell her what she needed to hear at that moment when she was working with Rochelle on her feelings of being alone. He reassured Bonnie that he was with her always. He came to help her in her psychotherapy. These communications that are 98% successful are further proof your loved ones are alive and well in the afterlife. You will have wonderful reunions with them when you arrive there. In the meantime, you can have afterlife communications with your loved ones. Repair and reattachment grief therapy is one method you can experience. A link to the website with trained psychotherapists is in the descriptions below.